Ladies and gentlemen, subscribers and patrons, good evening. Yes, it is New Year. 2023 is almost here, if it's not already here when you see this video. And there's actually quite a lot of people that kind of looks back on the last year and in their life in general, and then they are actually thinking about getting a new job. That's one of the things that they think about. And this is what this video is about. Should you take that new job or not? What most people do is they will write a pro and against column in a spreadsheet, and then they will find out that there are something pro and something against, and then they will find some weird excuse for not getting a new job. So instead of doing that, then I will actually recommend you because it is actually it's proven that when you get old, the things you regret are actually the things you did not do. It is rarely the things you did. Usually the things you did not do is the things that you will sit and think about, why didn't I do that? So what we want to do now here is to get a new job. So, of course, I know it's easy for me to say because I'm a contractor, so I get a new job, quite often. When the current assignment expires, and if there's no more work to do with a client, then I get a new job automatically. But if you are a regular employee, you have to do something actively to get that new job, and it is so easy just to sit and let the time pass on. But it's also not that much fun, right? So you should actually tell yourself that the goal is to get a new job, and then you need to write up the impediments because, of course. This is the agile way, right? Impediments. So then you can write up the impediments, and then you write out also a solution, of course, solution 1 and solution 2, because a lot of times there's actually more than one solution proposal to a given problem. So you get impediments, and then remove those impediments, and then get that new job that you've been talking about for a long time, because a lot of times if something goes wrong, then you can actually get your old job back if you're lucky. So the first thing is, is there any opportunity? And the answer to that is there's actually, we don't need to write any solution to that, because if you're a developer, then there are so many assignments out there. There's also remote work, and there are just a lot to do. I'll write that right here. So that is totally a green mark at least. So that this one is already solved. We don't need to think about that actually. That is okay. So. Is there any opportunity? You can easily find something else to do. So then the second thing that you might think in your brain is that maybe what about is the salary higher or the same? And the usual question to that is, does it really matter? Because we are quite well compensated. Well, compensation. When you're a developer, and let's say that you have to take a small pay cut. Take pay cuts. So this is the second solution. Just take the pay cut. Then you actually try out this new adventure, right? So I would say this is not an excuse at all. So this is something to do with your ego, and especially if you live in the Nordic countries where you have a high tax rate, then it does not matter that much how much you actually earn. If you earn maybe 2,000 more, 2,000 less, 5,000 more, 5,000 less, it does not. So now we come to real impediments. That could be a problem, of course. That is if you have any financial obligations. So maybe you have a family that you have to pay for. Maybe it's just you who are working. Maybe you're single. Actually, if you're single, then usually that's okay. But maybe you're single with children, then of course you still have to pay for the children. Maybe you might have some financial obligations right here that you have to think about. And this is I would say this is the most important one that you have to think about. And how can you solve this? One thing is, of course, to save up for this new adventure. So you have you have at least maybe for 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 months of. I should have at least 3 months of pay saved up, so you can actually then find another job if it did not work out with this new cool adventure that you found. And of course, you should not quit your first job before you have another job. That's of course also of course a good rule of thumb. And then, of course, you should quit your job in a manner so you can always go back. You should not burn your bridges. You should keep in contact, and maybe once in a while look up your former colleagues, your former boss, and let them know how you are, and that you are thinking about them once in a while. So you can save up, or maybe you can actually have a talk to. Maybe if you have a life partner that could actually put a bit more in the common box if you have some common expenses. Yeah, and of course you can also lower expenses, maybe lower some more expenses. Maybe you can get a remote job, and maybe then you don't need a car. I'm just speculating, of course, but you should try to lower your expenses when you're doing this. So this one should also be possible to actually solve. So those are the impediments. What about the distance to a new adventure? Remote work. It has come here to stay, I think. Of course, some of the companies are. Some of the companies actually, they're stopping this. They're stopping some of the remote work. They say that you have to go to the office again at least a couple of days per week, and of course, then you have to also take that into account. But if I'm pretty sure that if your new job actually sees you as a perfect candidate, then they would actually be quite flexible, and that you can remote work every day, or maybe just go on location, maybe just one day per week or something like that. So I would say that is also no problem. So instead of actually listing pros and cons, then you should just try to see if there are any impediments that should stop you from doing this, right? So it could also be that what else what other impediments could there be? Actually, I do not see any. I do not see any impediments. Maybe you would see any impediments. Maybe you get some. In some countries, you get some health insurance. Of course, you have to make sure that you can get the same in the new place, or maybe you can pay for that yourself. Again, I will say this is not something that you cannot solve. Pay yourself or get the same in the new place. So this is all. This actually also goes under the salary, right? If the salary is low, less or not. So, yeah. So my advice is try it out, and then don't burn your bridges. Maybe you can always actually talk to your boss and ask him or her and have a genuine conversation and ask, say that now you have this new job, but you also maybe before you actually found a new job, then you could. The problem is that if you have this conversation before you have a new job, then your boss will always say, no, you cannot, because then you cannot come back, because then we will fill your position with someone else. But ask them afterwards, because then you might actually be able to find another job, also come back if the new adventure did not work out for you. So that's actually, I would actually definitely say try it out, get a new job. If you do not get a new job with all of these good help and tips and tricks that I give you here now, then it's actually because you're quite happy with your current job. And then just accept that, instead of trying to talk to friends and family about how how sick you are of your job, and that you wanted to change your job and all that. Then instead of that, then accept that you actually that you actually love your job, that you actually have a good job, because or else you would actually try something else. The worst thing is that when people continue complaining about their job and without doing anything about it, especially if you're in IT, there are so many. There's so many opportunities right now, and actually also in all the other branches, that it has never been easier to find a job, especially in the Nordic countries. It is So stop whining, get a job. That's my tip of the day. And of course, it's easy for me to say, you would say, but this, of course, is my opinion. So, and this is probably what you also watch this video for, to get another opinion on whatever kind of adventure that you have in mind. And if you cannot find a new adventure, okay, if you can't new adventure. Let us say that you cannot find the new adventure that you would actually like to try out. Then actually talk to a headhunter. Because the headhunter, even though they're quite annoying when you don't need them, then they're quite pushy, and they actually continue. Yeah, they can continue contacting you a lot of times, even though you don't need them right now. Then they actually know what kind of positions that are actually out there, and which ones are most needed and most wanted. So this means that, let's say that you have some trouble actually finding this new adventure. Then you can up-qualify yourself. Of course, you can up-qualify yourself. And there, of course, you can use those skills that are needed. Maybe you need to learn some Java. Maybe you need to learn some Spring Boot. Maybe you need to learn some more front-end frameworks. But usually, if you just know one programming language, it almost doesn't matter if it's COBOL or if it's PL1 or whatever it is. Then most companies are actually very hungry after programmers, so then they would actually take you in, and then they will actually teach you Java if that's what you actually need to do. So one thing I actually see with people that says that now they want to change their position and then they don't do it anyway, it's actually because they have a low self-esteem. Because they've been the same place maybe for many years, for a long time. Some people actually have the same job for maybe 10 years or maybe the whole life actually, and then they don't know if their skills and if their personality and if their person in general is actually wanted outside the current company, outside the current context. And this is where the low self-esteem comes in. And this is also, I think this is a hurdle where you have to do something about this. You have to kind of build yourself up, and also maybe talk to other experts and maybe also other people that just swap jobs. Try to get a feeling of what they actually do in their work life, and then at some point then you will actually see that you can actually solve all of those problems, right? And then there's another thing. If at first you fail, you should not lower your standards. As I said in another video, that was just a joke that was actually put up where I studied. If at first you fail, lower your standards. No. If at first you fail, of course, then try again. Of course, that is the point, right? So let us say that after 3 months you found out that this new company, this new adventure that where you are, then you actually found out that you don't like the colleagues. They're really annoying, and it could be that there's a toxic culture or something like that. That could happen. Then you just say, okay, I tried this, and then you try a new adventure again. So do not. This is not just you only live once, but you have a lot of attempts. So you can attempt as many times as you want usually. Of course, as always, you should try to leave a good impression. This means that you should also work until the last day. I have actually so work until the last day, and then finish what you started in a good way. That's always a good tip. Yeah, try again, and that's actually the last advice right here is actually so good that I will actually raise the font on this one, because this actually goes for whatever you're doing. If you fail, try again. You have unlimited. Usually, you have unlimited tries, and and that is also if you're creating a startup, something like that. Then just make sure that you don't spend any money to begin with. That you don't have any expenses. If you don't have any expenses, then you have, in theory, an unlimited amount of tries with your startup. And the same goes actually with your new adventures, new jobs. try to, you have unlimited tries. It's not like a computer game where you usually have 3 lives or something like that. You can try as many times as you want to. Just be nice to everyone around you, and be nice to yourself, and try to build yourself up, and also be with people who makes you stronger. So be with people that actually makes you feel better about yourself. So, and that's actually quite easy to know if people makes you feel better. Not if when you have socialized with someone, then the day after, try to feel in your stomach that do you feel better now about yourself than you did yesterday. If yes, then this was a good person. Try to spend more time with that person or those persons. If not, then that person was, or those persons, or some of the people in the group where you actually went the day before, some of those people might be toxic and not good for you. So also, So also try out, try to be with people that makes you stronger and build you up, instead of people that want the worst for you. And of course, sometimes you would actually have some good friends that actually want the best for you, but they can still get jealous. So it's not like a one time. If someone was just would put you down just one time, maybe they were just feeling jealous, and maybe they had their own problems in their own lives. That's okay for a couple of times that your friends let you down a little bit. That's just human to feel jealous, and to have to feel that you deserved more than your friends or whoever you're with. But in the long run, if it's always like that someone tries to put you down whenever you see an opportunity that you want to try, then that's not good for you. Then you need to spend time with people that makes yourself feel better about yourself, and that makes you stronger. So up-qualify yourself, work on your self-esteem, and then if at first you fail, then try again. Try harder. Not try harder, just try again. Because you should always try hard. So yeah, that's it. So should you get the new job? Definitely yes. If this is a thought that you have in your mind that you should, whether you should change your job or not, then definitely yes. Or else you would not have that thought if there was no underlying wish or ambition to actually try something else. And as I said to begin with, the things that people regret when they grow old and sit in a retirement home, that is usually that is always the things that they did not do. It is not the things that they actually did and then and then they failed with, but it is the things that they did not do. So try out stuff. Put on the yes hat. Yes, that's it for this video. Happy New Year. Happy new job. Bye bye.